Okay, so today I'll be discussing the trade that I took on NQ. I shorted on NQ yesterday, and it was during the ECB conference event that was at 9:30, and we also had a news event at 10 a.m. Now, it was a very, I would say, a difficult day to trade, except a few moves here and there. We were chopping around yesterday, and I guess it was a very difficult day to trade. And it is a typical day where, anyone that can, doesn't have control over his emotions can lose them and lead to over trading and maybe even losing the account. So my approach yesterday was that I knew that at least that we will be heading lower, and I will tell you just in a bit why we will be. But first of all, I just want to show you that where is the previous day low. Okay, so this is the previous day low. Now, before at 8:15, we went near the previous day low, but we didn't take it out. We were coming down with a very, with good force, and we still didn't take that previous day low. You can clearly see that, in the morning we had taken out this buy side liquidity, and we dumped a very good reaction we got, and around 0.786 OT levels, we retraced, and then we kept on dumping during the London session. And here were the London highs on NQ, and here were the London highs on ES. And after taking out that buy side liquidity, if you will see the 15 minutes time frame, we have already formed a 15-minute CISD. And why, I will tell you, my bias was bearish yesterday. See, first of all, because of the CISD. Second, we also had this previous day low which we came very near to, but we didn't take it out. And we also had this new week opening gap. And now, if you will look at the 4-hour time frame, we had a very huge wick. So I had this, as a liquidity pool sort of. So this was a 4-hour sell side liquidity with the order block on the 4-hour just below that. So all of these factors curated a short bias for me yesterday. Now, talking about the trade that I took. See, what happened was that on ES, if at 9:30 open, I was expecting the 9:30 open to be very choppy, to be very honest, because of the ECB conference. And 9:30 open did come out to be very choppy. And I was, setting out till we get a displacement sort of structure from any direction. So I was hoping that we would at least, dump till the previous day low. But because of the ECB conference, I didn't who held it till the previous day lows and the 4-hour sell side liquidity, but I did get a 2-hour scalp from these levels. Now, uh, what you will see is that, so we rallied into this fair value gap. And now, if you will just you know give me 1 second, if you can clearly see, we have taken out the London highs at 1017, but we haven't taken out the London highs on NQ. So we were forming an SMT with the London highs. Now, typically after this situation, and if you will look closely, we have also formed these, relatively equal lows here. This is low resistance liquidity runs, and we also have previous day lows here. One more point that convinced me that I should go for a short was that this was the 10 a.m. news candle, and look how beautifully this has lined up perfectly as an equal low on ES. So I was convinced that I want to go short. Ideally, I wouldn't trade when Fed is speaking, but because of how good this looked, I took the shots. So now talking about how the trade went, and I will just show you the executions on my chart in just a minute. I wanted to see an inversion of fair value gap, and I wanted to see a CISD, right? On ES, we got the CISD here on 1020, and we also inverse the fair value gap on ES here. However, we didn't inverse the fair value gap on NQ till about here. This was the fair value gap that I was looking for. And now, after the inversion of the fair value gap, eventually I shorted the markets at 22,832. After this candle, I shorted somewhere around 823, 22,823, and I put my stop losses above the fair value gap, just to cover uh, a substantial portion. and I eventually aimed for targets around the data low. This was the 10 a.m. data wick, and this will completely line up. However, there was a very huge I would say crack in correlation yesterday. If you will see the charts, and we were very bearish on NQ, and that is also one of the reasons why I decided to short on NQ and not ES. So I took the short, and eventually I rode it all the way till these data lows. It did took some time. It distorted time around here. It won't be visible in the bar replay, but it did take out some time, and I eventually shorted this, and I covered till these data lows. Now, my eventual, I would say, my target was the 4 hour sell side liquidity, which yes, it did get tapped into, but the problem was that it was an ECB conference he was speaking, and I was just wasn't confident about the fact that it will actually travel there, and actually it won't distort time till the moment he is done with the conference. So that is the reason why I didn't held it till there. We did in fact take out the previous day low, and we did also take out the 4 hour sell side liquidity eventually, and that is just it happens on some day. I did get a very short scalp near these levels after the PDL was taken, but I wasn't interested in taking the short again till this 4 hour sell side liquidity, because of the the confidence. That's so this is how I made a $400, and I will show you the executions right now on your screen. Okay, so these are the executions, and as you can see that I have shorted at 22,823 and 22,782. There was a very short scalp that I also got in here, and that's it. So all in all, I was done for around $850, and this short scalp in itself is around $820. Okay, so if you are someone who is not who cares, who is not very patient to sit 2 to 3 hours in a trade, and who cares about quick momentum and high win rate, then I have specifically curated because 6 to 7 models based on these characteristics, because this is exactly who I am, and I have curated these models. I call that my own playbook, and that is all I trade, right? And in that playbook, I have mentioned the all the essence of the elements of that model that you have to trade. It has 6 to 7 strategies that I use to trade every day, and this is specifically for Nasdaq, and it works in forex as well, but it is dependent on kill zones and all. So this is specifically for Nasdaq and ES. So if you are interested, if you want me to make a video on that playbook, comment down below playbook, and I will share that with you in the next video. And yeah, that's it for today, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, peace out. Thank you so much.